What is up, guys? So I am back to check out some of your hot takes from the last episode of Raw. An amazing episode. CM Punk kicked it off with what I would say is probably his best promo, where it's just him, his first solo promo. That was amazing. You could just feel the hatred and rage, and he didn't even have to scream or shouting at Drew. It was just so sinister. And then we had the Judgment Day beating up the TURDS. I can't believe they wore those street trash. I'm kind of representing with the black and white, but I can't believe they wore those street trash shirts. I can't believe that. I think they're kind of cool. And then we had Bronson and Braun, who just tore the place down, literally. They just destroyed the ring backstage. It was just a car crash, and that deserved to be on a pay-per-view, honestly. So AZ says, this is what the Judgment Day story always needed. Links back to how and why we got here, and we got that in abundance with Finn and Liv interrupting Rhea and Damian respectively. I loved those segments, especially because they're not giving us the, the old segments where they used to give us the Judgment Day backstage taking, so we could see their, game plan, their dynamics as a group now, how things are, who is the leader, because, they're saying no leaders, but, we all know that there's somebody who is kind of sitting there, even if they're not saying explicitly that they are the leader. But this was so cool, especially, I think Finn's one was so much, I think I preferred Finn over Liv, because it showed Rhea's vulnerability, it showed how she's still bothered by the fact that Dom left. So I really like that. With Liv, it was cool, but I feel this seems to be a recurring thing with Damian. He's kind of in this place where he doesn't care anymore. And even when, in the last week's episode, when Finn kind of, poured his heart out, about why this is all happening, he didn't even process it. He just went, okay, you said your piece and I'm going to beat you up. Which I think it's, kind of interesting how he doesn't really, it's he's past listening to other people's feelings of why they're doing things. And he's like, I'm here for the fight. So I hope that somehow plays into the story going forward. Also, not cool that he called Liv Susia, because apparently that is not the same as Susio, how they call Dominic. Apparently it's more demeaning for the women. So not cool, especially because it's coming from Damian, who knows that. So I don't know how they allowed that, but it's all up to them. I'm sure Liv probably knew and she was cool with it. Bob Fallen Kingdom says, is it crazy to say I want Io to win the Women's 2025 Royal Rumble? It's not crazy. The problem is, and it might not happen, Rhea might win at Bad Blood, but I don't want Rhea to win at Bad Blood. So, if it's Liv and Io, which I'm pretty sure you saying I want Io to win, you're probably thinking of a Rhea and Io match, which, it's kind of where I disagree, but I wouldn't mind an Io Liv match. That would be cool. And heel, babyface, it's, a guaranteed amazing match. Io is fantastic, and, Liv thrives in that fast-paced matches. So, and Io can bring out the best in her. So, you know what? I am kind of down for this then. The only problem is that if Io wins and she's challenging for the women's world title, then it's not gonna be the rivalry of Rhea and Liv ending at WrestleMania, which is, kind of where I'm I don't know anymore. Samir says, with everything that has happened the last few weeks, Bronson vs. Braun deserves to be on Bad Blood. Especially after tonight, it feels like the perfect build-up for a match at the PLE. A 3 stages of hell or falls count anywhere as a stipulation. 100%. Like, this felt like this should be taken there, you know? Outside of all the big matches, you know, your Liv, Rhea, your Finn, Damien, this is probably what is building up to be a very pay-per-view worthy match, you know? Like, I would even go as far as to say I would have this on the card over LA Knight and Andrade. Like, no offense, but this, the build-up just seems so perfect for Bad Blood. Tyler says these two don't miss. Like, Io and Bianca just have amazing chemistry. Like, this is like, I'm sure they probably had a match in NXT, but you know, just these two matches, like the Backlash match and the Raw match, like this, oh my god. I can't wait for, you know, like someday where we get this on a big stage again. But yeah, like that tag team match is gonna be very good between the Sky Pirates and Jade and Bianca. Samir says, even if they wanted this to tease Xavier's heel turn angle or whatever this is, referees getting distracted by going outside the ring to check on Kofi was such a dumb move to make Finn and JD retain, since referees don't do this typically. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it also gives this, you know, reason that it's not necessarily anybody's fault that they lost. You know, it's kind of like it's the referee's fault. So it kind of drags the turn even more, and it kind of adds this drama of, you know, like Kofi, even though Kofi did, you know, invite or, you know, ask help from LWO, you know, it's still not enough for him to turn. So even if that is the reason the referee got distracted and they lost, it's kind of just, you know, like a small chip into this collapsing thing. I don't know. But like, it's only a small piece of the puzzle. Caveman says, though I'm not a big fan of PFC, Pure Fusion Collective, I'm glad it gives women a chance to showcase their talent on TV. Thinking long term, it makes the inaugural mid-cartel tournament much more meaningful and believable. So true. And you know, like, even though when we look at, you know, the Smackdown's mid-card for the women, we only get Mia Yim, who is probably the most consistent. And then we got Chelsea and Piper. And like, that match only got like 2 minutes. So, you know, as much as we drag the living hell out of Pure Fusion Collective, they still get time. You know, like, as much as we don't want to see them, I mean, I don't mind, but, you know, some of you don't want to see them, you know, like, you say the bathroom breaks, but they still get some time, you know, like, to get those reps in. You know, like, the women get time on TV, which is one of the reasons. I said this in the Smackdown Hot Takes video, that this is what I'm fearing, that, you know, like, they're gonna get cut off when Raw moves to 2 hours. The Renaissance Era says that promo from Jay proved how much the Yeet gimmick is holding him back. Not once did he try to figure out or how to work in the word Yeet or try to get the crowd to chant it, and he had one of the best promos in a while. So true. Like, I feel like the Yeet thing is kind of, you know, like, it stripped away his character. You know, like, there are some times where, you know, like this, you kind of get somebody who brings it out of him, but like, you know, a lot of time it's just yeet. Like, it's like, what is it, like, I can't even compare it to John Cena, because I mean, you can kind of, but John Cena's had, like, it wasn't just, you know, like a marketing catchphrase kind of thing. So I am looking forward to him returning to the Bloodline, because I feel like he can finally get to work more as a character, you know, outside of, you know, the guy who goes out there, you know, pumps up the crowd and stuff. Mia says the accountability in the Judgment Day story is coming from the wrong side. People will turn on you if you treat them poorly. It's not a hard concept. This is so true, right? Because, right now, it's the whole, like the Judgment Day are the heels in this, but they had reason to. And, even though the Terror Twins are not, 100% innocent, or they're not 100% guilty, like everybody in this feud should be accountable. Like, even though Rhea is over here like, oh, why are you rewriting history? Like, she is not innocent. Like, the Dominic stuff, the stuff she was doing to Dominic, even in terms of, the idea of Finn winning the title and, Damian being there, they never got to talk about it. Because every time when Finn was calling out Damian, Rhea would come out there and, like kind of sweep everything under the carpet. So it was just this build-up of resentment because they never talked about it. Like she would always be there to suppress those emotions. And, suppressing the emotions doesn't really solve anything. It just means they're building up, in the background. And that's what happened. Finn was kind of building up this rage and, finally snapped at SummerSlam. So she is, she should be accountable just as Damian. And Damian is refusing to do this. Like I said, like he is kind of, wearing a blindfold, essentially. He's not really paying attention to what anybody's saying. He's kind of like, I was wronged. He did address it, like earlier on that, like they are not innocent either. But in terms of the Finn stuff, he's like, I don't care. I'm going to beat you now. So that is definitely going to come back to bite him. So guys, those were your hot takes. If you enjoyed this video and you want more, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's 2 videos coming out of hot takes every week. Smackdown and Raw, maybe NXT, maybe AEW. We'll see how it goes. See you next time.